I want to say welcome to Churchill Weavers. Churchill Weavers is a very unique business, bridging the past with the present. Churchill Weavers was started in 1922 by Eleanor and Carol Churchill, who came to Berea in 1920, actually. Mr. Churchill was going to work for Berea College to start an engineering program there. It didn't work out, and the Churchills saw an opportunity to continue an idea that they had had in India several years before, and that was to provide employment and economic development through labor of the hands, specifically through weaving. He was an engineer. He graduated from MIT with an engineering degree, and he went to India as a missionary with the church to see what he could do to help the lifestyle of famine orphans in India. We were very honored when Mrs. Churchill asked us if we would like to buy the business in 1973. First of all, we designed the products, and we give the instructions to the people in the yarn department, and they bring the cones of yarn to be put on the warping wheel. The yarn is put on the warping wheel and the warps are made. The warp is the part of the process that runs lengthwise through the loom. The weft are the threads that go across the loom and form the patterns. Once the warp is made, we carry the beams to the loom and set them in the looms. Now, these looms have been designed, and many of these built by Mr. Churchill himself. Then we prepare the loom by drawing in, and we pull the threads in the warp through heddles on the frames in the sequence that will make the pattern that we want to weave. Then we tie it up to an apron, and it's pulled through, and it's ready for the weaver to start to weave. The weaver, we have fly shuttle looms, and that were designed by Mr. Churchill. The weaver then uses both hands and both feet in almost dance-like rhythm. They weave the fabric. They have to think and watch and be very careful when they apply the colors and in the sequence that needs to be done to get the patterns desired. They have to measure, and although our weavers, you will see earphones on many of our weavers, and I've had people ask me, are they listening to instructions? No, they're listening to music, because they like to weave to the rhythm of music. We've had weavers tell us here that they learn to weave by listening to the rhythm of the looms, because there is a rhythm that's almost like listening to an organ. After the fabric is woven, it is taken to our mending area, where any imperfections are taken out and rewoven with a needle if possible. If there's too many things, and believe me, when you do things by hand, lots of things go wrong. I mean, anybody can have a bad day. And lots of times, even the yarn has a bad day. We are aware of the old American Indian belief that only God makes things perfectly. So we know that imperfections are part of being made by hand, the little bumps, the little things that can happen, and that makes it unique and very special. After that is done, the products go to our laundry where everything is washed, and most things are pressed. And after that, they go to our outside finishers. We have people who work in their homes, and they cut and sew, they tie the knots, they do the embroidery. Many of the things that we are not set up to do inside are done with people who actually work in their homes, and they are full-time employees of Churchill Weavers. After that, they bring the products back. They're inspected, combed, fluffed, checked again before they are tagged and sent out in orders to people all over the world. And on each tag that goes out to people all over the world, there's a card that says, "Wove proudly in Berea, Kentucky, by," and the name of the weaver is on there. And sometimes our weavers get fan mail, which is a big, exciting day for them. They love to do that. And it's actually an amazing thing to me that a man that I met, Mr. Churchill, worked for Thomas Edison for a very short while. The connection between the centuries is it's pretty amazing. And the business that Mr. Churchill started in India and continued here in Berea, Kentucky is an amazing story. And when he came to the United States with his wife in 1920, and in 1922 they started Churchill Weavers, they continued the mission of providing employment, which was their goal. Since 1922, Churchill Weavers has been in Berea, Kentucky, and proud to be here. We've employed many, many people over the years. I say we because my husband and I continued the tradition. We bought Churchill Weavers in 1973. The husband and wife team of Carolyn Churchill was continued with Richard and Lila Belando. We were very proud and honored to have been chosen to carry forward the legacy of the Churchills. And Mrs. Churchill told me many times that she was happy that she had made the choice that she did, and certainly we were happy that she made that choice because our life's work has meant a lot to us here. And over the years, many things have happened to make Churchill Weavers known around the world. We are nationally recognized, internationally recognized, as being foremost pen weavers in America. Our history at Churchill Weavers is such a rich tapestry of so many things that have happened here. We wove scarves for Shirley Temple. We wove the first linings for the astronauts' uniforms. We have made upholstery fabric for several museums around the country. We have woven huge commissions for architectural installations in several buildings for a very, very famous textile artist. Over the years, we have done so many, many things that it's hard to comprehend the effect and the value that Churchill Weavers has had on the lives of people in America and around the world. And we are so proud of our history. We're so proud that we still make things by hand, because we believe that making things by hand and providing things made by hand is an important part of contributing to life as we know it. So many things are computerized, so many things are technologically geared that sometimes we lose touch of the human touch. And we believe that although we could have power limbs, we think that the things that we make by hand are so important because they enrich the lives of the people who get them. We believe in hand to hand and heart to heart. We believe in the value of what we do here at Churchill Weavers. We believe in the value of the people who make those things at Churchill Weavers. And we are so proud to be a part of a very important endeavor. And we do make things still by hand the same way they were made a very long time ago. The same looms, the same warping wheel, the same techniques as Mr. and Mrs. Churchill when they started the business in 1922. Much of the equipment is the same equipment. Much of it was built by Mr. Churchill. And we are now almost 85 years old.